We'd like to welcome you here on Perez Sports Network, the best sports on the best network for some Week 10 prime time as we get ready to go as the Detroit Windbreakers take on the Bronx Spartans. Glad to have you all with us here on the Big Win Football Association here on the Perez Sports Network. Should be a good game today as the Spartans and the Windbreakers try to defend their seating, and we're going to be underway. Jimmy Green back to return. He'll go to the far side. The Spartans there to pick up on it. And a lot of big problem with some of the returners in this league. They just go straight line to the sideline. Reggie Walsh will give it up to Stevan Scott. This is going to be a run of about 6 on the play. Windbreakers lost to the Swift Current Colts earlier in the season. They'll be looking to bounce back. Gaston Charbonneau on the run up the middle. That is going to bring up 3rd and 6. Reggie Walsh back to throw to the near side. David Smith, and it'll be a 5-yard pickup. 4th and inches coming up, and they're going to elect to punt. They're going to elect to punt it away. They're not going to take the risk. Mike Sewell kicks this one back up to the near side, and now back to return is Gary Dent, and Dent is going to get a bit of a dent there as he runs it out to the 27-yard line. Bill Howe with it to Travis Rogan. This is going to be a 1-yard loss. Not related to Seth Rogan. Bill Howe slings it over to the far side. Dent spins out of it, and he'll get taken down to the 40-yard line for a 15-yard Spartan first down. Howe back to throw. Gets it to the near side and overshoots his receiver. Howe drops back to throw. Now to the near side. He goes to Marquise Armstrong. Breaks one tackle. Down the sideline. Breaks another. Gets to the 27-yard line. Or 28. I apologize. It'll be another Spartan first down right out of the gate. A very strong offense for the Spartans. Here comes Kevin Brown John. He'll spin out of one and get inside the red zone. Bill Howe draws back to throw. Slings it to the near side and off the helmet. Pass is going to fall incomplete. Howe steps back, throws it over the middle to Gary Dent, and just short of the first down, a 9-yard pickup. This is a do-or-die down for the Spartans on this drive. Howe throws it over to the far side to Kevin Brown John, and a 4-yard pass for the Bronx touchdown. In to take the extra point is going to be up, and it is in. 7-0 for the Bronx Spartans. The kickoff, and we are back underway. The Detroit Windbreakers had to punt it away on their last offensive series. And Truman spins out of it, finds a big hole up to the far side 40, and that's going to be a 29-yard return to start off the drive. Walsh goes back to pass, slings it over to Stevan Scott, and takes the first down and a lot more. Spins out of it, 2 spins, and he's going to get the ball out to at least the 35-yard line, and that's going to conclude the first quarter. 7-0 Spartans on top over the Windbreakers. Walsh back to throw, gets it up to Stevan Scott. A bit of a check down there, a 5-yard pickup. 2nd and 5. Reggie Walsh. Big throw over to the near side. He slung that one like a bullet, but it might have been a little too strong. 3rd and 5 off the incompletion. Walsh slings it over to David Smith. Gets the first down and a whole lot more. And that is going to be a Windbreaker first down. Walsh slings it to Smith. And that's going to be a big wrap-up and takedown for the 2nd and 5. Walsh back to throw. Slings it to the far side off the helmet. It'll bring up 3rd down. A lot of passing errors today for the Windbreakers. Here comes Reggie Walsh. Walsh over the middle to Jimmy Green, and it's in. Touchdown, Windbreakers. And we kind of had a feeling that this was going to be a really good game between the two. That's why they're on prime time. 7-7, and we are going to kick this one away as they make the extra point. Marquise Armstrong up to the far side, up to the 20. He'll run to the 25, and it seems like the Bronx Spartans kick return strategy is just run on a straight line to the far side and hope for the best. Here comes Travis Rogan. bounces to the outside, and he is going to not be able to get by the one guy that was standing on the ground for some reason. He got pancaked over there, still got the tackle. What a trooper. Bill Howe throws it to the near side. Gary Dent, he's got big daylight to the 35, near side 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, touchdown, Gary Dent, and it'll be the Bronx Spartans with a massive, massive play. The kick is up, and it is through. 14-7, Gary Dent with the play of his life. And that's got to be the play of the game. We're not even through the second quarter yet. Ron Truman with it up to the far side, and he's not going to get by there, so it seems like the Windbreakers and the Spartans have a similar special teams approach here. Just run in a straight line, hope for the best. Reggie Walsh gets sacked for a big loss on the play, 6-yard loss. Didn't even have any time in the pocket to himself there. Throws it over to the far side, off the helmet of the defender. Got very lucky it didn't get intercepted. Walsh drops back about 5 yards, gives up to Charbonneau, and that is going to be a 6-yard gain of 4th down. They'll force them to punt it away, and Detroit has had to punt it away twice now. They've only scored on 33% of their drives today. Bronx, on the other hand, has scored on about 66%. Bronx is going to have their 4th offensive series. Bill Howe will drop back, and a timeout is called as he gets sacked on the play. 1:41 to go in the half. Bill Howe drops back to throw, looks to the far side, and overthrows his receiver. That's the second time he's done that today. Howe drops back to throw, now to the near side. It's up to Gary Dent, who already has one big play. Spins out of it for the first down and a whole lot more. Timeout called for 15 seconds to go. And they're not going to take, I don't think they're going to be able to get into field goal range in time here. They're not. It's going to be over the middle to Marquise Armstrong, and that'll conclude the half. And the Spartans lead it into the locker room 14-7. Kickoff underway for the second half. About 30 minutes left in this game. Marquise Armstrong back to return, and again going to the near side. He's going to weave his way through. He's got multiple blockers. A lot of daylight to the 45, down to the near side 40. And he's going to cough it up. Mike McDonald picks it up for the Windbreakers, and it's going back to Detroit. What a hiccup there for the Spartans. To the near side, a big throw to Ron Truman. It'll be a Detroit first down. And how do you choke that kick return like that? Such a big play, and he still fumbled it. Stephon Scott spins out of it, gets the first down and a little bit more. 14-7, Bronx on top. 10 minutes to go in the third. Reggie Walsh drops back, and he's going to get sacked down to the 45-yard, about 46-yard line. Or actually, I'm probably going to say 44. Reggie Walsh up to the far side, wide open to Jimmy Green. He'll get the first down, and he'll spin out of bounds. A 20-yard pickup for the first down. Detroit still going to try to get into the end zone here, looking for their second touchdown. Jimmy Green with a big catch. He's going to spin his way in. Nobody will catch him. Touchdown, Windbreakers. 14-13, trying to tie it up. The hold, the kick, and it is good. They're going to kick this one back up to Gary Dent. He'll have it up to the 20-yard line, and he is going to get flattened down there in the 20. Just barely got out of his own red zone. 7:30 to go in the third quarter. This will be Bronx fourth, I think their fourth offensive drive. They'll hand it off up the gut. It'll be 2nd and 9. Bill Howe up to Kevin Brown-John, and it's going to be a big stop there. 4-yard pickup. 3rd and 4 coming up for Bronx. Bill Howe over the middle to Kevin Brown-John. It'll be a first down, a whole lot more. Big daylight to the 50, the 45, and stop close to the 40. Bill Howe on the logo, slings it to the left side to Travis Rogan, and he'll get a 2nd and 6. Bill Howe on the logo, now to Rogan again. Second connection in a row. He'll spin out of 2 tackles and gets the first down on a 12-yard pickup. 1st and 10 coming up for the Bronx Spartans, trying to reclaim the lead. Howe slings it over the middle and overshoots his receiver. think he was trying to go for his tight end there in the flats. 13 seconds to go. Bill Howe up to Kevin Brown John, and he'll get stopped on a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring an end to the third quarter. The Bronx Spartans still tied, trying to get into the red zone here, and they will. Kevin Brown John with a first down. Red zone alert for the Spartans. 1st and 10. Bill Howe drops back to throw. And to the end zone, Gary Dent, and another one, 13 yards for the Bronx Spartan touchdown. The snap, the hold, and the kick, all three are good, and the conversion 21-14. And Detroit got to be sweating bullets. They still got time to score, but they need to score now. There'll be a spin for Jimmy Green. He's had a good day today. 12:43 to play here. Reggie Walsh, near side to Jimmy Green. It should be a first down. No, they're going to mark it just short, 2nd and inches. Reggie Walsh up to Stevan Scott. Up to the far side. He's got big daylight. He got a blocker to the 50. Far side 40. 35-30. It spins out of 1. Gets stopped. A 42-yard pickup for the first down. Reggie Walsh hands it off again to Stevan Scott. He's got blockers, and he's going to make a man miss. 15, 10, and he's going to get stopped into the 9. First down for the Windbreakers to try to tie it up. Walsh drops back to throw. Slings it up, and it'll be in. Ron Truman for the Windbreaker touchdown. What a game this has been. This has been an instant classic here at the BWFA. The kick is up, and it is good. The Spartans will have to try to answer. No doubt they'll find a way. They've made some big plays today. Marquise Armstrong up to the far side. And he'll get stopped at about the 25-yard line, maybe just a bit more than that. 1st and 10 for the Spartans. Howe drops back to throw up to the far side now to Marquise Armstrong for the Spartan first down. Clock still running with 5:30 to go. Bill Howe slings it to the near side to Kevin Brown John. He's got some blockers, but one man gets by his blocker, and it'll be a 2nd and 1. A field goal is all they're going to need to win this game. They don't need to do anything fancy. Travis Rogan, he's got blockers up through the middle, breaks through for a first down, spins out of it. He's going to run into his own man, and it will be a timeout called for the Spartans for the first down. Bill Howe, Travis Rogan going to the far side, trying to get by, and he's going to get a 4-yard pickup. 2-minute warning for the Spartans. Plenty of time to get into field goal range. I do have a feeling that they're going to get in there. That's probably going to be the Spartans. If they can get into field goal range, this game is done. Bill Howe drops back. It'll be a screen over to Travis Rogan, and it'll be a timeout up past the first down marker. This should get him into field goal range. Bronx does have one more timeout to play with. Rogan up the middle. They'll call the timeout. Don't understand why are they not going for the field goal. Bill Howe slings it to the far side. That's probably why. Marquise Armstrong. And are they going to get it off in time? No, they're not. And we're going into overtime. They didn't have any more timeouts. They should have just taken the field goal right there. And the coin toss is going to be complete. They're going to kick it off to the Spartans. I think this is the first overtime game in BWFA history. I think we might already had one. Gary Dent spins out of 1, spins out of 2. He's going to break it down to the far side, up to the 50. He's got one man giving chase, and he'll get stopped to the 40-yard line. A 51-yard return for Gary Dent. And he has had the game of his life today, and they're going to try for the field goal. Why? The kick is up, and he nails it. Mark Dreyfus with a 57-yard field goal to win the game. Something that they should have done in regulation, but better late than never. And we'd like to thank you so much for tuning in here. The final score in overtime, the Bronx Spartans 24, the Detroit Windbreakers 21. And, of course, as always, I'd like to thank you so much for tuning in here on Perez Sports Network, the best sports on the best network. And this was an instant classic, an overtime thriller. Although the Bronx Spartans, a little bit of questionable timeout calls, probably would have avoided overtime completely, but what do I know? With that being said, that is going to do it for BWFA Primetime. Sorry that this took so long, by the way. And we're going to be seeing you in the next one I can't remember if playoffs are up next or if we still got a couple more regular season stuff coming up. But that being said, that's going to conclude it. And with that being said, one more time, the final score, the Bronx Spartans 24, the Detroit Windbreakers 21. And that will cause the Windbreakers to fall down to, I think, 5-5, so just at 500. And then the Spartans are going to move up to, 6-4. So that's going to be very interesting indeed. In terms of what the standings are going to look like. That being said, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in. You've been watching the Big Win Football Association on Perez Sports Network, the best sports on the best network. And until next time, and you know there will be a next time, have a good one.